This is how I showed up on a day-to-day basis. I was a liar, a person that was committed to lying every single day, no matter what, because all I wanted was my perception, my reality, everything like that to be real. And I didn't care about anybody else. So when you're sitting in the relationship and you're like thinking, maybe there's hope that he might be able to change, one of the first questions I ask people is, how is he showing up honest? Then the people are like, yeah, he's not. I'm like, well, then nothing's going to change. Like if someone DM'd me the other day and they were like, I'm hoping that it's going to work out. I'm hoping that's going to change. I'm like, well, how is he identifying with being honest on a day-to-day basis? And she was like, he's not. I'm like, then there is no hope. Like, I hate to be like that dealer of bad news, but some of you need to hear it, that if the person that you're with is a liar, there is nothing you can work with. Like if he's not willing to admit the things that he's done wrong, if he's not willing to be honest about the things that have happened, then there is no foundation for anything to work. And so when you think maybe this will change, maybe this will get better, maybe we can work through this, it will not happen if it's bet on a bed of lies. Like showing up as a liar was consistent. I did this the entire time. Let me show up as a liar at work. Let me show up as a liar in church. Let me show up as a liar to my family. Let me show up as a liar to my wife. Let me show up as a liar to God. Let me show up as a liar to myself constantly. And what you run into, you will get involved with people who are liars, consistently lying about stuff, anything. Those people will never change. There is no change on the other side of someone who shows up as a liar every single day. Just won't happen. So we have to be able to understand this baseline premise. If you're hoping that the narcissist in your life is going to change, but they're a liar, nothing's going to change. So stop fooling yourself. Stop thinking that it's going to change and start understanding that you have to deal with the facts of the situation. If you don't deal with the facts of the situation, you will consistently be gaslit. You will consistently be future faked. You will consistently be dragged along like a carrot in front of a donkey, thinking maybe I will get the prize, and the prize will never happen. And you start to realize over a period of time that this person has been lying to you so much that you start lying to yourself. You start believing that they're going to change when there's been no evidence of it, when nothing's been demonstrated. And you start to walk yourself into a fog, into the confusion of like, well, he said he's going to change. He said he's going to get into therapy. He said he's going to work on this, but he hasn't. But he's gotten into therapy and you haven't seen change. But he's modified a couple of things, but you haven't seen transformation, which is why you're stuck in the same relationship, in the same cycle, with the same type of person over and over and over again. And I'm saying this as a wake-up call so that you actually hear it and wake up. That until we change something, this other person is not going to change. Until you make the change, there will not be change. Because change does not happen from a bed of lies. It does not happen when someone is in an alternate version of reality, when they're not willing to acknowledge the shit that they've done. You will stay stuck. This is what we refer to as the trauma bond. You will stay stuck in the mindset, the rumination. Then you will stay stuck going back and forth, the intermittent reinforcement. You will stay stuck inside this piece of, I feel like I need this person in my life when I know they're toxic for me. What are you telling yourself today that is convincing yourself to stay? So true. I'm depressed because of this. Totally agree. I definitely need to hear that. Or they go to manipulate you, 100%. What are you telling yourself today to manipulate you to stay? Like there's been a story, there's been a thought, there's been a lie that you have believed from the other person, or that you are telling yourself to keep you stuck in the toxic relationship. Maybe it's you're not good enough. Maybe it's you'll never survive alone. Maybe it's you can't handle the kids and do this and work your job. Maybe it's you'll fail at business if you do this. Like, what is the story you're telling yourself? This piece you need to hear and you need to understand. You will sell yourself into this slavery of being in a toxic relationship, and you will sell yourself with the lies that you tell yourself. You're like, I don't tell myself any lies. What about I'm not good enough unless I'm with him? What about I can't be a single mom and still survive? What about I can't do this on my own? You see, all of these things are different lies that people will tell themselves, and you'll believe it. Because he's already preconditioned you to believe the bullshit coming out of your own thought process now. You need to be able to understand what is the story? What is the lie that you're telling yourself to keep yourself in the relationship? If you're still in the relationship and the guy that you're with is showing up toxic, he's showing up as a liar, he's showing up as a cheater, he's showing up nothing short of a man, like he's not a man at all, there is a story that you are telling yourself that is keeping you stuck. And then until you change it, until you change it, nothing will happen. Nothing will change. When they know you are serious, they do go to AA or counseling or to therapy, though. And what people need to know is that even if they go, it's just to manipulate you. 100%. Narcissists will change at the end of the relationship because they realize all the previous manipulation no longer works. I see this happen with clients. Or all of a sudden they put up an ultimatum. They're like, yep, I'm done with this. All of a sudden the narcissist changes. Magically he gets into therapy. Had a client we worked with and she was like, you know what? I'm done. They never could have worked out. The only way it could have ever worked out is if you actually would have gotten to therapy. Next day, he calls up his therapist. He's like, hey, book 6 months of therapy. Look at me. Manipulation. End is here and I keep making excuses. Why? Why do you keep making excuses for you? You can keep saying excuses, but what happens when it doesn't change? How long can you keep going down this road before something breaks or it gets worse or you start falling apart more than what you already are by being in a toxic relationship? What lie are you telling yourself to manipulate yourself to stay? You're like, oh, I didn't want to talk about this piece. It's supposed to be all about the narcissist. Yes, it is. Because with narcissists, it's all about the narcissist. But your healing is all about you. Not about him. You need to understand that you are the one that can liberate yourself from the bondage you are in. But you have to be willing to confront the stuff that's keeping you back. Mine acts like nothing ever happened the next day as if he never broke up with me and yelled at me, blaming me for his behavior and cheating and him cheating on me. 100%. They'll try to make sure that it's your fault, that you're the one that's messed up, that nothing's ever happened, to be able to get you to believe this piece that you're the crazy one. Like, do you see how this is breaking down? Do you see how this happens? If a narcissist can keep you in the fog, you will have the inability to actually make a decision. If I can keep you stuck in the fog of like, I don't know what to do, the fear, the obligation, the guilt, I am stuck. I don't know what to do. So therefore, I'm not going to do anything. That's what I'm calling you forward to make a decision. That decision might be leaving. That decision might be getting into therapy. That decision might be working with a coach. That decision might be signing up for one of our challenges. I don't care. You need to make a decision for you, not for me, not for him, not for the kids, not for anyone else. You have to make a decision for your own liberation. Otherwise, it will not happen.